ಮೇಡಮ್ ಮೇಡಮ್
ತೆಗಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಹೌದು ಹೌದು.
First of a kind lecture series Bharath Station Virajpet proposes in London. We are very thankful to the family of Justice MP Chinnappa to come forward to ensure that
ಪುಣ್ಯ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂದು ನಾವು ಮುಕ್ತಿಯ ಪಡೆಯ
the Bar Association Virajpet has organized the Justice Chinnappa Memorial Lecture this day. On this occasion, the Honorable Sri Justice A.S. Bopanna, Judge, Supreme Court of India, has kindly accepted our request to address us on the role of advocates and judges in dispensation of justice. On behalf A.S. Bopanna has kindly accepted our invitation and present with us. On behalf of the Bar Association Virajpet, we extend a warm welcome to Mrs. A.S. Bopanna. Welcome, Madam. Has kindly accepted our invitation to be the President of the occasion. On behalf of the Bar Association Virajpet, we welcome High Court of Karnataka and the Administrative Judge of Kodagu District has kindly accepted our invitation to be the Chief Guest. On behalf of the Bar Association Virajpet, we extend a warm welcome to welcome, Madam. On behalf of the Bar Association Virajpet, we extend a warm welcome to Sri M. Ringesh. Welcome, sir. Additional Advocate General, High Court of Karnataka, Sri Dhyan Chinnappa, and Advocate, the senior civil judge, Madappa, and Member Secretary DLSA, Sri K.B. Prasanna, and Additional Civil Judge and Judge, the Bar Association Virajpet, we extend a warm welcome to you, Madam and Sir. District and Sessions Judge, Srimati S. Sujata, Principal Civil Judge and JMFC, Sri Sir. The Presiding Officer of the Hon'ble Court, the Civil Judge and JMFC, Srimati K. Court of Karnataka, Sri Chandramoli, has kindly accepted our invitation and present with us. Welcome, sir.
Judge of the Supreme Court of India, Honorable Chief Justice Prasanna Varale, Chief Justice of Karnataka High Court, Honorable Justice V. Srishananda, Honorable Justice C. M. Poonacha, all judges of the High Court, Sri K. S. Bharath, Registrar General of High Court, Sri M. Ringesh, Principal District and Sessions Judge, Srimati Chinnappa, Sri M. Dhyan Chinnappa, Additional Advocate General and Senior Advocate, Srimati Kamal, Sri Chintan Chinnappa, Sri S. Bopanna, Senior Advocates, Sri Kumar, Kola, and other senior advocates of the High Court, judges of the Virajpet and Hon'ble courts, my dear advocates and their family, President and members of Hon'ble, Madappa, Srishananda Bar Associations, brothers and sisters. This is an eventful day, not only in the history of the Virajpet Bar Association, but in the history of the Virajpet town itself. Today, we had the Honorable Judge conducting the Bhumi Puja for the construction of a new court complex at Virajpet. We are assured of a full-fledged court complex with all facilities and amenities. We profusely thank our very proactive and dynamic Administrative Judge, Justice Srishananda, and Chief Justice Prasanna Varale, and all other judges and Registrar General K.S. Bharath, Dr. B.C. Satish, Deputy Commissioner of Kodagu, and the revenue officials for their resistance and initiative. The building of a new court complex at Virajpet perhaps is in one way fitting tribute to Justice M.P. Chinnappa. It may be of interest to know that all our eminent judges of our district have close connection to our town and our taluk. Justices P.P. Madappa and Justice P.P. Bopanna are from Varale family of Kodagu village, which is only a few kilometers from this town. Justice A.S. Bopanna hails from Attur village, which is only a few. Madappa Chinnappa hails from Kuttur village. He was born to an agricultural family and he had his early education in this small town. During those days, life was hard. He had to walk miles to go to the school. Rivers would be sprayed during heavy monsoon months. Justice Chinnappa started his law practice at Madikeri and had a distinction of being the first advocate from Kodagu district to be directly appointed as the district judge. In a Shakespearean play, the king says, quote, I wear this crown not on my head, but on my heart. Justice Chinnappa discharged his judicial duties with empathy and compassion. He has served all the institutions to which he was appointed with distinction. All the members of the Bar Association of Virajpet profusely thank Srimati Kaveri Chinnappa, Sri Dhyan Chinnappa, Sri Chintan Chinnappa, and all other family members for supporting and assisting us in organizing this program. We immensely thank Honorable Mr. Justice J.S. Bopanna for having accepted our request to deliver an inaugural speech in memory of Justice M.P. Chinnappa. In these few words, I conclude with hearty greetings to you all. ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯರೇ, ನ್ಯಾಯಮೂರ್ತಿ ಮಾದೇವಿ ಚಿನ್ನಪ್ಪನವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ತಿರದ ಕುಕ್ಕೂರು ಗ್ರಾಮದವರು. ಅವರು ಓರ್ವ ಸಂಭಾವಿತ ಸಹೃದಯ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಉನ್ನತ ಸ್ಥಾನವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಿದ ಅವರು ಪ್ರತಿಭಾವಂತರಾಗಿದ್ದರು, ಮಾನವೀಯ ಕಾಳಜಿಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದ್ದರು. ನ್ಯಾಯಮೂರ್ತಿ ಎಂ ಪಿ ಚಿನ್ನಪ್ಪನವರ ಸ್ಮರಣಾರ್ಥ ಏರ್ಪಡಿಸಿದ್ದ ಈ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸರ್ವವಿಧದ ಸಹಕಾರವನ್ನು ನೆರವನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಕಾವೇರಿ ಚಿನ್ನಪ್ಪ, ಶ್ರೀ ಧ್ಯಾನ್ ಚಿನ್ನಪ್ಪ ಮತ್ತು ಚಿಂತನ್ ಚಿನ್ನಪ್ಪನವರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಕುಟುಂಬಸ್ಥರಿಗೆ ವಿರಾಜಪೇಟೆ ವಕೀಲರ ಸಂಘದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಕೃತಜ್ಞತೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ.
Thank you, sirs. So this is their primary, and it still exists just a few meters down the road. And he secured his law degree from BMS Law College, Bangalore. He was enrolled as an advocate and practiced at Madikeri, both on civil and criminal sides. He is married to Srimati Kaveri. Is a very old photograph, a nostalgic one. A good practice, and after 14 years of practice in 1983, he was selected as a district judge. And see how proud his family was. The entire family got together in front of the Hon'ble to honor her. He was directly recruited by the High Court as a district and sessions judge, and possibly the first person from Cook to be done so. And then he was
Justice A.S. Judge Supreme Court of India, Honorable Sri Justice Prasanna Varale, Chief Justice High Court of Karnataka, Honorable Justice Srishananda, Judge of High Court of Karnataka, Honorable Justice M.G. Shukure Kamal, Judge High Court of Karnataka, Honorable Sri Justice C.M. Poonacha, Judge High Court of Karnataka, Sri K.S. Bharath Kumar, Registrar General, Sri Brungesh, Principal District and Sessions Judge, Sri I.R. Pramod, and other members of the Virajpet Bar Association, my mother, Kumar, my family members, senior advocates, my extended family, members of the advocate fraternity, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Maya Angelou, a poet, said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. This quote aptly describes how people remember my father. Over the years, lawyers have come to me and spoken of my father in these words. Senior lawyers now reminisce about their younger days Some had just started their practice when he was a district judge. And they always tell me how he was, as a district judge, always encouraging and courteous to every junior in the bar. He would not merely treat them with respect, but would encourage them to argue, sometimes saying that he would read the file with them, and that if a decision was to be made against them, then to call their senior. This is what he was, both in his professional and personal life. Everyone was treated with unfailing courtesy. My father had a special Virajpet has honored him and our family by hosting this memorial lecture and unveiling his photograph. It is absolutely befitting that the first memorial lecture is being delivered by Honorable Justice A.S. Bopanna, who embodies everything that my father stood for. Justice Bopanna's unfailing courtesy is well known. He is one of the few judges who has the ability to make a lawyer smile after he has lost the case. At the end of the day, he treats everyone, junior and senior, with the same politeness. My father always had the highest regard and affection for him, and we feel honored, sir, that you are delivering this memorial lecture. Role of lawyers and judges in dispensation of justice was a topic my father discussed with me several times. He would constantly tell me one thing, that it is most crucial to be precise and to be to the point in arguments in court, and to ensure that the time of the court is safe. I have tried to cultivate him in some way. Honesty and integrity was the hallmark of all that he did and stood for as a judge. Honorable Chief Justice Varale is a true leader and carries the entire court, his colleagues and lawyers, with aplomb and peace. He is friendly yet firm, and he disarms everyone with his smile and affectionate disposition. Our courts are fortunate to have such a great Chief Justice, and we are privileged that you are presiding over today's function, sir. Justice Srishananda has, in a very short tenure of being an administrative judge of this district, achieved the unthinkable. 3 functions today for development of various projects in this district, and most importantly, the setting up of a court complex in Virajpet couldn't have come at a better time. And I'm sure the entire bar here are extremely grateful to him. I can say, my father certainly welcomed him. Justice Kamal and Justice Poonacha are, of course, sons of the soil. Although they are very young judges, they have already made a mark and earned the respect and affection of the bar. Something which really has to be earned over a period of time, but has come to them fairly easily. It must have something to do from the fact that they are from Kodagu. Bharath Kumar is the Registrar General, is the CEO of the High Court. He runs the entire administration efficiently, and being from Virajpet himself has ensured that this function happens. Brungesh is a very popular judge. He is an administrator, and he was here personally to ensure that the entire setup and the program is organized properly, and we are very grateful to him. Finally, I must say something about my mother. My father depended on her entirely. We depended on her. She held the entire home together. My father did not have to worry about his sons. Those were her responsibility. She taught us, fed us, shouted at us, but it was all her. Although she was a banker herself for many years and studied law when she could, she became a lawyer but never practiced. She also ran the house and made it absolutely easy for everyone else. During the last few years of my father's life, it was my mother who stood like a rock and took care of him with very little consideration for her own health. All through my school days, she wrote all my speeches. I memorized them and I took all the credit and won many prizes. Actually, I would have asked her to write this speech as well, but nowadays she refused to write them for me. As my father's son, I feel proud and privileged to have been raised by such a great man. He was not just a role model for me, but also for many others who had the fortune of knowing him. His legacy will live on through the countless lives he has touched and the positive impact he has made with all whom he has met. He was an inspiration, and I hope that we can make this lecture an annual affair to in some way continue his legacy for years to come. Thank you very much. High Court of Karnataka, Justice Srishananda, Justice M.G. Shukure Kamal, Justice C.M. Poonacha, Mr. K.S. Bharath, the Registrar General of Karnataka High Court, Mr. M. Rungesh, the Principal District and Session Judge of Madappa, the Bar Association of Virajpet, my family and my dear friends. Before I begin, I would like to wholeheartedly thank each of you for taking the time to attend and be part of my father's lecture. Contrary to modern belief, the measure of a person's success is not based on his professional achievements, financial earnings, but on the depth of his character. I'm sure the speakers who are to follow will give you an insight into my father as a judge of the Karnataka High Court. While of course sticking to the topic of dispensation of justice and the role of advocates and judges. But I intend to give you a sneak peek into how my father was in his personal life. I am the younger of the two sons, and though my brother does not believe that he looks it, he's 10.5 years older than me. But my father was 46 years older. In effect, I had a father and a grandfather bundled up in one. For the younger lot, we categorize people in generations: Gen X, Baby Boomers, Gen Z. While I belong to the millennials, my father belonged to the silent generation. He was born in 1941. And true to the categorization of the silent generation, my father was a man of few words. Let me tell you, when he spoke, he made it count. Considering the age gap between my father and I did not have a father who attended parent-teachers meetings or sports events or anything related to my school or college. At times I even doubted if my father knew which grade I was studying in. But when I look at it right now, I think that was the unique characteristic of my father. He wanted his children to learn their lessons all by themselves and did not want to spoon feed them along the way. While on the outside it appeared that he didn't have time for us, I truly believe that he intentionally took a step back and let his children grow and grow. This, coupled with my mother's contrasting style of upbringing, I think made it the most perfect environment for my brother and I. I think what defines my father in 3 simple words is compassion, common sense, and patience. Though my father was not academically brilliant, he made up for it with these 3 qualities. And he extended this when he was on the bench as well. I joined the profession in the year 2009, and this was a few years after my father had already retired. And most people did not even know that I was his son. But like my brother mentioned, after a few years of my practice, a number of older members of the bar would come up to me and tell me that they absolutely loved appearing before my father. And a common thread in all of these compliments was that when he appeared before my father would put them at ease. And while us lawyers have to put on a professional front, I think an important lesson for the bar and the bench is to not forget that we are all humans. And this was what my father brought to the table, humanity. This also nicely ties into the topic of dispensation of justice and the role of judges and lawyers. I would say that if you instill and show a fair degree of compassion, common sense and patience, just like my father did, you would not need to discuss this topic any further. Justice dispensation would become a breeze. So please remember that the measure of a person is squarely based on the depth of his character. And these virtues need to be infused into the dispensation of justice. I am certain my father is smiling at all of us today, at this very moment, considering that this event is being held in Virajpet, in the Triveni school, right outside his family home. Thank you very much. God bless.
ಕೆ.ಎಸ್. ಭರತ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಇವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಮಗಯ್ಯ ಹಾಗೂ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ವಕೀಲರು 2015ನೇ ಇಸವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜಿಲ್ಲಾ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧೀಶರಾಗಿ ನೇಮಕಗೊಂಡ
I request his parents, Srishananda and Srishananda, to kindly come to his stage.
ವಕೀಲ ಪದವಿಯನ್ನು ಪಡೆದು 1997ರಲ್ಲಿ 1999ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರು 60 ವರ್ಷ ತುಂಬಿದ ಸವಿ ನೆನಪಿಗಾಗಿ ಹೊರತಂದ ಕ್ರಾನಿಕಲ್ 60 ಎಂಬ ಒಂದು ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾದ ಒಂದು ಪುಸ್ತಕವನ್ನ ಇವರು ಮುಖ್ಯ ಸಂಪಾದಕರಾಗಿ ಬಹಳ ಶ್ರಮಪಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನು ಹೊರತರುವಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರಮಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಹಾಗೂ
In the previous function, you might remember that I said that you can see his efforts here. In whatever functions we hold, the backbone is Mr. Madappa.
Honorable Mr. Justice C.S. Bopanna, Judge Supreme Court of India, esteemed Justice Prasanna B. Varale, Chief Justice, High Court of Karnataka, esteemed Mr. Justice Srishananda, Judge, High Court of Karnataka, also Administrative Judge, Kodagu District, esteemed Mr. Justice M.G.S. Kamal, Judge, High Court of Karnataka, Mr. Bharath Kumar, Registrar General, Mr. Dhyan, Chinnappa, Additional Advocate General, Senior Advocate, Mr. British, Principal Dispensation Judge, Madappa, the other judicial officers of the district, senior advocates, members of the bar, family members of late Justice Chinnappa, and ladies and gentlemen who are present here today. Late Mr. Justice M.P. Chinnappa hailed from a village in Virajpet, who rose from humble beginnings, started his practice as a lawyer at the district headquarters on KT. Thereafter was selected as a district and session judge directly from the bar. He discharged his duties in various capacities as a district and session judge, and went on to also become the Registrar General of the High Court of Karnataka before being elevated as a judge of the Karnataka High Court. Even after his retirement, he has held various offices and has had a very illustrious career. Personally, as a young lawyer, I have had the opportunity to appear before him at the High Court and also in various arbitrations after his retirement. As you must have already heard, and this was a common story shared by many of my contemporaries in the profession, as to the kind of encouragement that Mr. Justice Chinnappa left to the younger members of the bar, and that kind of encouragement gives a real boost and confidence to the younger members of of the bar when they start off their professional career. It is fitting that this memorial lecture has been conceptualized and organized in his memory. I cannot think of a better way of honoring his life and times. All of us who are gathered here have either interacted or in some way heard of late Justice Chinnappa. The presence of so many people here is testimony to the kind of legacy that he has left behind. It is very satisfying that both his sons, Dhyan Chinnappa and Chintan Chinnappa, are also in the legal profession, and they have carved a niche for themselves in this profession. There is a long list of speakers, so I really don't intend to take anyone's time, and I deem it an honor to be able to participate in this function, and I thank the organizers for giving this opportunity to me to say a few words. I hope and trust that this lecture series will be a continuous and a periodic one and will meet with the success it deserves. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Honorable Justice Supreme Court of India, my Lord Justice Prasanna Varale, the Chief Justice, High Court of Karnataka, my Lord Justice Srishananda, Judge High Court of Karnataka, my Lord Justice Poonacha, Judge High Court of Karnataka, Sri Bharath, Registrar High Court of Karnataka, Dhyan Chinnappa, Additional Advocate High Court of Karnataka, members of District Judiciary, senior advocates, members of bars, my dear friends. We are all, I'm sure, eager to hear my Lord today's Bopanna on the occasion. But since it was a surprise for me to see my name also in the list and asked to say a few words on this, I think as rightly stated by the President of the Bar, today is a historic day. In the sense of not just laying foundations for three institutions to come up, but also to mark the occasion to begin a new series of a lecture, none other than a personality whom we all should emulate in our day-to-day life. The examples he has left behind is evident in front of us. The way, the briefness, the crisp, and the clarity which Dhyan and Chintan conveyed the message of their dad is very evident. I don't think there could be any better example than this. I'm not exaggerating. Madam Chinnappa, grateful to you to have contributed these two personalities to continue the legacy of the judiciary. Events like this not only take one down the memory line, it is also an occasion for us to pause and introspect where our vehicle is leading. The topic of the day, very interesting, though we come across every day, the role of bar and judiciary in dispensation of justice. We often say that there are two wheels of a chariot, two faces of the same coin. We also hear this statement that lawyers are officers of court. We may have to just look at this statement of lawyers as officers of the court. We all know the bar council rules and advocates acts do lay down certain do's and don'ts for the advocates. We are here. Before this, we were there. Our personalities were molded. We looked upon the personalities to whom we can follow so that we can reach where we are. It may be a very simple thing to say that when you enter a court hall, You enter a court hall with the conscience that is a temple of justice. When you go to a temple of justice, you don't just walk in casually. You also look at the way you dress. You also look at the way you appear. You also look at the way you conduct. You also look at yourself the way you respect your opponent. Above all, since you are entering the temple of justice, the respect, the honor, the reverence, the deference you need to show to the officer. You are the reflection of the society. A common litigant will be looking upon you, how you are reflecting yourself to the society. As rightly pointed out by Dhyan and Chintan, you need not be a genius in whatever you do, but you can probably become an example by just following the simplicity, a commitment to your duty, a commitment to uphold the dignity of the profession what you do, the integrity, the honesty in every step. Winning or losing the case is not important. How you have upheld the cause of justice is very important. I'm sure our beloved Justice Bopanna will be enlightening more on the occasion. I convey my gratitude to the Virajpet Bar Association for having organized this event and giving us an opportunity to be part of this historic event. And my best wishes to everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Shukure Kamal ಅವರಿಗೆ ಈಗ
ಸಭೆಗೆ ವಂದನೆಗಳು. My Lord, Honorable Justice S. Bopanna, My Lord, Honorable the Chief Justice, dignitaries on and off the dais, Motherly College Chinnappa, family members of our Honorable Justice Bopanna, Shukure, Kamal and Poonacha and my wife as well, members of the District Judiciary, Honorable Senior Advocates, Registrar Advocate General and member of the family of Chinnappa, Sri Dhyan Chinnappa and Chintan as well. While I adopt whatever the things already been said, I may have to add few things. Shukure Kamal told about the memory line. I was just wondering what to speak about in Chinnappa. My career started even before as an advocate with MP Chinnappa. One may be surprised how. I was waiting for my final year results after writing the examination in 1991. Honorable Justice Chinnappa was Registrar Judicial as well holding the post. A petition need to be filed before the vacation bench, where some orders were to be obtained, and it was a petition. We call it a civil petition to file the appeal as informa pauperis. Before the district judiciary could be before the principal district judge, but in the High Court it was before the Registrar judiciary. File was handed over and it was before Chinnappa's chamber, and my father had gone to some other branch to present another important file to be filed before the vacation bench. So I was all alone looking at here and there. He called me, what are you waiting for? I was not even in an advocate attire because I was not supposed to. And my comfort level was so good. I said, sir, I am so and so, waiting for the result. Come and tell me, do you know something about this petition? I said, my client is a retired police officer. He can't pay the court fee for the appeal. Would you permit that he is there? If you permit, I will ask 2 questions to him about his competency to pay the court fee. And if it is convenient and comfortable to your good self, you may permit us to file it as informa pauperis. So I would differ with Dhyan in this regard. I would also dispute. You may be surprised, what is there to dispute? It is very simple. He was kind enough to juniors and sometimes not for the seniors, which I have adopted in my judgeship as well. So if any matter is to be dismissed, we would only know that you get your senior. So we will come to know that the matter is to be dismissed. And if it is to be allowed, he would say, you say 2 words, I will allow your petition. And he would not forget to mention the name of the junior in the order. And many juniors used to keep that as a testimony. My name has appeared in ILR so and so. This was Chinnappa, and that it makes up the Chinnappa. In Sanskrit we say Kirti and Yashas. These are the 2 different words. Many people think that it is synonym. It is not. Yashas is always success. Nearest word for Kirti in English dictionary is fame. I don't agree with it. Because the Sanskrit, the word Kirti says, you remember a person when he is not there. The audience is the evidence for that. Therefore, the embodiment of our dispensation of justice, which is relevant for the today's topic as well, we could see in Justice Chinnappa. And I was the first beneficiary before becoming a lawyer. What else that you need to add? We also have a higher philosophy, a doctrine. It is called doctrine of Karya Karana Sambandha. It's a very high philosophy. Sometime else we can discuss it for hours together. Given the time constraint, I would only say a first beneficiary without becoming a lawyer, coming over here to the birthplace of Chinnappa and made to say a few words to Chinnappa is what that I owe to him. And many of our friends here would agree that they also owe similar debts to Justice Chinnappa. With these words, I would conclude. All the best for the lecture series.
Thank you, Mr. Srishananda. Not just Justice Chinnappa, but for the tiring efforts you made in getting.
Good evening to all of you. Honorable Chief Justice Prasanna Varale, Honorable Judges, Justice Srishananda, Justice Shukure Kamal, Justice Dhyan Poonacha, and Mr. Bharath Kumar, Mr. Blangesh, Madam Chinnappa, Mr. Pramod and all the office bearers, the association, Dhyan Chinnappa, Additional Advocate General Chintan Chinnappa, the other family members of all the judges and also me, the senior advocate, guests were traveled all the way, particularly Mr. Kolar, Mr. Shankar Namrata Kolar, because Namrata Kolar is a family, so traveling all the way is your duty. And all the senior advocates of the Virajpet bar and all other invitees, including my other family members. And my sister is also here. I think it's because the lecture series is one part of it, but a befitting occasion when the Constitution bench is presiding over the function. Very rarely you get this occasion in a small place like this, where you have so many judges on the dais, and that itself is a tribute to Justice Chinnappa. Irrespective of what the lecture is, the very setting is sufficient to show how popular Justice Chinnappa was and how the occasion has turned out to be. Before I get to the subject, because so far as the achievements of Justice Chinnappa, I don't think I should be referring to it because I saw a card printed also, where all his achievements during his tenure as a judge and thereafter after as a retired judge, he has held several posts, including the arbitration which was going. Actually, I had personal interactions with Justice Chinnappa only after he retired. Prior to that, because I started practicing in '84, by which time he was already a district judge. And if I remember right, I think his first posting was in Mayo. So that was the time I was a regular person going to the Mayo Hall because I had a scooter. I was always being sent to Mayo Hall. But that was a far off fort those days. And I used to regularly appear before Justice Chinnappa. Because then I was only known as ASD for KJS. He did not know I was Bopanna, neither did I have any personal interaction. Despite that, the kindness which I received when I was appearing before him, and as in fact Dhyan was mentioning also, the encouragement a junior lawyer was getting was immense because we had just started practice, we were still getting into the groove, though we may have faulted on so many aspects he was tolerating, he was allowing us to conduct the cases. We had a lot of personal interaction and he probably thought I should be a judge. That was always his wish, which came true. And thereafter also he was very happy when I was elevated as the Chief Justice of the Guwahati High Court and thereafter the Supreme Court. And he had a very peculiar way of saying Bopanna. He used to always say that, with so much of love in it, the affection in it. And when I was in Delhi, many times, because we did not meet that regularly, but whenever I came down, I went going to visit him. And maybe sometimes if there's a little time gap, he used to call. And he used to say, "Ningella busy and parking, you disturb madula." And then phone and then I used to call sometimes, talk to him. It was that kind of affection we shared with each other. Justice Chinnappa was one such judge. It is sorrowful that we lost him in 2021. Now, Justice Chinnappa's sons, Dhyan Chinnappa, is in his own right. He has achieved so much, even Chintan Chinnappa. They are carrying on the legacy. I deem it a great privilege to have been asked to deliver a lecture. It is indeed an important topic, and in the circumstances presently prevailing, it is also a live issue. It is said elsewhere, the judicial wheel is rounded with equality, oiled with honor, and functions smoothly with honesty. Principally, when both members of the bench and the bar shoulder their responsibilities seriously, this is achieved. The people of India, through the preamble to the Constitution, have solemnly resolved to constitute India to be a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Democracy is the form of government where the people of the nation as a whole choose their elected representatives to govern them. As commonly called, democracy is a form of government of the people, by the people, for the people. For the topic of the day, we are concerned with judiciary, which comprises of all stakeholders, which also includes the bar and the bench. The judiciary is that branch of the Constitution that interprets the law, settles disputes, and administers justice to all citizens. The judiciary is considered the watchdog of democracy and also the guardian of the Constitution. For democracy to function effectively, it is imperative to have an impartial and independent judiciary. Bar and the bench are two elements of the same system. Without them, justice cannot be efficiently administered in the courts. The legislature and the executive have the power to make, implement and enforce the laws. It is the role of the judiciary to ensure that the laws passed by the parliament are constitutionally valid and settle the disputes regarding the scope of the legislature's powers. However, the power of the parliament to enact law includes to amend the constitution. Sir Henry Alfred McCarthy, High Court of Justice of England and Wales, in one of his lectures said, and I quote, "The alternative to reign of law is chaos of the jungle. Imagine what would be the state of things if every litigant were to plead his own cause. Conceive, if you can, a court without a bar. Conceive the situation of a judge set to try causes." The person was also named by somebody saying, he called the person and he asked him. He said, "Yes, I think maybe I only committed because only both of us were there, we were fighting, it happened." And yes. So the king then, of course, had to follow the due process also. So in his court, he asked him to be present the next day, appointed an amicus for him. A great lawyer argued for him. But the judge had come with a judgment already ready in his pocket to convict him because he had already said, "It's me." So when he heard the lawyer argued all the various possibilities, created a doubt in the mind of the judge. So that's the role of a lawyer. That's the role of a lawyer. The criminal matter, you don't have to prove it. You create a doubt in the mind of the court and you get the benefit. So without a lawyer, I don't think the system can function. Maybe innocents may go to the gallows, the others would get acquitted. So that's the importance of a lawyer. I believe that the bar is an essential component of our legal system, and it is paramount that both the bench and the bar coexist harmoniously with each other, and together they can contribute effectively in achieving greater heights in the field of law. I say and believe it is an advocate's duty to instill confidence in the public by being true to the profession. The bar and bench are considered as the two wheels of a chariot that play a role in administering the law. Both complement and are interrelated to one another in their respective roles.
So, thank you very much for this profound worship and it's very taken, sir. I think it's really a fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you on behalf of the speaker. And our request.
Respected my Lord, Honorable Chief Justice A.S. Bopanna, Judge Supreme Court of India, esteemed Brother Justice Srishananda, Brother Justice Kamal, Brother Justice Poonacha, Registrar General Sri Bharath Kumar, Sri Lungate, Principal Dispensation Judge Kodagu, Madappa, respected Madam Chinnappa, the members of the family of Justice Chinnappa, Dhyan and Chintan, the President of the Bar Association, Madam Srimati Namrata, ladies and gentlemen, the respected Madam Bopanna and respected Madam Poonacha, Madam Srishananda, Srimati Kamal, and the learned advocates from Virajpet, the neighboring taluks or districts, ladies and gentlemen. Ellarigu namaskara, Shubha Sandhya. I thank Virajpet Bar Association and the Chinnappa family for giving me this opportunity to attend this function, a new beginning in the memory of Justice Chinnappa, the inauguration of the lecture series, and I must say the lecture delivered by Justice Bopanna sir was truly enlightening, sir. I thank from my bottom of heart, and we all are deeply obliged for Lordship's words of the advice, knowledge, and guidance. I thank the Bar Association for its gesture in felicitating two sons of soil, our Registrar General, Sri Bharath Kumar, and the learned lawyer, Sri Madappa, for their contribution to the legal work. I was really very happy to attend this function and know what great personality Justice Chinnappa was. I was not fortunate enough to meet him, but then hearing the lectures, I could see that what a towering personality he was, and the attendance for this function showed that how he is respected and how he is in the minds of the people of the area and respected and honored by the bar, not only the bar members, but the other citizens of the town. Because of the now, we have already sufficient time. I think that what Lordship has said, anything more, anybody can add to it, but then I can only just say the personality of Justice Chinnappa, particularly reflected through these speeches, and particularly Chintan reminded me couplet of Rumi. Probably you may be knowing, he was one of the great poets. In one of his couplet, loosely I can translate it. Probably this is what I found in the personality of Justice Chinnappa, and I think we all must try to follow this principle, what is reflected in Rumi's words. Rumi says, listen with ears of tolerance, see through the eyes of compassion, speak with the language of love. I think there cannot be any other good message apart from these words. I once again thank you all for giving me this opportunity and attending this function. Thank you.
Of the dais and all the invitees. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this enlightening event. On behalf of the Bar Association, Virajpet, I profusely thank
Very special thanks for food. Awards for kindly offer the
and I thank part of this event.
request.
And I thank Srimati Kamal. And also I thank Principal District and Session Judge Sri M. Burge. Especially I thank I thank Sri Chandramoli, Senior Advocate, High Court of Karnataka, who is present in this occasion to host this event. I extend my thanks to members of the press and family members of Malitina family and all the invitees. Once again, I thank one and all who present here. Thank you.
The next one.